The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of Take Shape for Life health coaches or clients. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to healthy living and weight loss will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a physician before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the Take Shape for Life team.
Hi, everybody. Excited to be with you tonight for the Habits of Health Zoom. And I just want to congratulate you for being here. This is a big part of your lasting success, is integrating into these great tools that we have for you. So I've got my 18-year-long friend, great lady, Lynn Cambia, as my co-host tonight. Lynn, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, Charlotte. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And guys, I'm great too. And we're excited to dive into this topic that we have for you tonight. It's kind of a fun title, and it's definitely a very important topic for the journey to health. And it's called Yo-Yos Are More Fun When You're a Kid. So who knows that that's true, and who has experienced, we're not talking about the toy here, we're talking about the journey of yo-yoing around in your life, and especially with your health. So we're going to be talking about how to break some of those patterns and create a new outcome for yourself. So who's ready for that? Me! And I've already experienced that, and I know my good friend Lynn has too. And I know, Lynn, that we both had experienced a lot of up and down in our health journeys throughout the 18 years that we've known each other. So do you want to share a little bit about your story?
Thanks, Charlene. Yes, as you can see in this picture, oh my goodness, Charlene, speaking of yo-yos, I've yo-yo dieted all my adult life. And it was tough because I would lose the weight and then gain it back again, lose the weight, gain it back, and it wasn't a fun thing. And so, as you can see my picture 2 years ago, because of you, and I want to thank you so much, I found an amazing program that I no longer have to yo-yo diet. And I'm just having fun. And yo-yo dieting is for kids. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Lynn, I love it. And I'm looking at this picture of us in our bathing suits. This was just in January in Hawaii. We're snorkeling over in Maui. And wow, what a funny thing. When we first met and all those years we've known each other, I don't think we would have taken our picture in a bathing suit.
No, we've never done that before. And that, you know what? I love seeing this picture because it just shows how happy we are because we're no longer yo-yoing.
That's true. And it's been more than 2 years that we've both been healthy. And even Lynn, you guys in her picture, she's jumping for joy. And we're going to talk about some of the reasons why. Before we do, I would love to just share a little bit about myself here. I think pictures are fun to see. Pictures tell the story. Since I was a young girl, I loved to look up magazines of people's before and after transformation, whether it was a makeover or a physical change or their house makeover. I love to see progress. And, I think a lot of people have given up on being able to have lasting change because they're dieting or they're using a system that doesn't have components that actually work. And here is me when I started 2.5 years ago. I started off to lose 20 pounds because that's what I thought was possible. And you can see I had a much bigger transformation than just that. What you can see in the picture are all the habits of health that I learned. And the girl sitting in the blue dress there, smiling with my wonderful husband, Lee, I'm healthy 2 years later in that picture because I had learned the habits and I had integrated into our system. So we're going to talk about that. And Lee and I, we love being a part of this community. We love being clients and always having a coach to go to for support. We love being coaches. Coaches are 5 times more likely to stay healthy because we're surrounded by health all the time. And so we love every part of what we get to do and the freedom that we get to bring to others, but also that we got off that merry-go-round, that yo-yo, that playground of not getting where we want it to be. And this is really the way you're going to do that, is you're going to integrate into these 4 components. So my question for you as we go through our really empowerment time with you today is to ask yourself, how integrated are you into the 4 components of our system? And Lynn, would you go over what those are?
Absolutely, Charlene. So the first component is health coach. The second is habits of health system. Third is the community, and fourth is fuelings. And we're going to go through each one of them. So I'll take the first one, Charlene, if that's okay.
That would be great. Go ahead.
All right. So the first one really is the health coaching part. And this is wonderful because, your health coach are free. So are you reaching out to your health coach enough? because they're there for you to guide you and to help and assist you on the program to stay on track, and also to answer any questions that you may have, and especially the support system. Because, no man is an island. I feel that, with somebody's support, we can always do better. It's always better to do it together. Isn't that right, Charlene?
Well, definitely. And Lynn, I know that being your health coach for us, it was so fun to watch you start your journey and be able to guide you so that you knew the answers. And after that first week or two, you knew where to find the things you were looking for better. And our goal is to really grow you up into being completely able to know where to find the answers, how to navigate the challenges. But I don't think we ever outgrow our health coach. I still connect back with my health coach with, hey, this got a little out of control. I need to pull this back together. And really, we're going to talk about some of the ways that you do that today. But are you connected with your health coach? And are you really using that amazing component that we offer to the full potential? And the more that you are connected, the more integrated you are, the higher your lasting success level is going to be for you. And so the free health coach, connect in there and use their knowledge, let them guide you, definitely. Okay, the second one is, and I want to say with the health coach too, it's kind of like you need to make the appointment sometimes and you've got to reach out. You can't leave your success up with someone else. You need to reach out and say, hey, I'd love to connect, because I can guarantee you they do want to connect with you, definitely, and support you. That's why people become health coaches. One of the things I love is that that's really who our community is people that want to empower and assist other people. So make sure that you're taking responsibility for that. The second component is the Habits of Health system. And this is really one of my favorite things about our program. I was so hungry to be educated about things. It's funny how our brain wants to be right. So we make ourselves right a lot. Well, streaming the Habits of Health information into my mind really helped me have some new ideas of what I thought was right wasn't working. So it almost gave me permission to have a lasting psychological change. So this is really the part that isn't dealt with people when they're getting healthy, is the emotional and psychological components of health. And this really teaches that for us. And so it's Dr. A's book that he wrote. Thanks, Dr. A, Habits of Health. I call this my health Bible. It's color-coded. You can even look at the table of contents and just jump to a chapter that appeals to you. And that's really how you're going to start to integrate yourself into this book. Your health coach can also guide you to different places that are relevant. And then the workbook that came with it is called Living a Longer, Healthier Life. And this is like Charlene's ahas, because there's a lot of blanks to fill in your book, and you're going to be taking pen to paper and personalizing the information that you're getting. So that's one way you can do it, is through reading. Another way that you can do it, if you're a person that's like, oh, gosh, I just need something I can stream into my brain for real, that's called a podcast. And if you don't know what a podcast is, I didn't know what it was. It's really like a modern radio station. So get your smartphone, go to your Play or App Store and download any free podcast app that has good reviews, and then you open it. And instead of tuning into the radio station like 105.7, a podcast just has a name. So our radio station, our podcast station is Habits of Health. Surprise! And you can just go in, tune to that, type it in, and then all of those podcasts will be available. Even probably tonight will be on there pretty soon. And you can listen to that for 10 minutes a day. And I want to encourage you that those little things you do each day lead up to big success. And clients that are doing this, they'll say, I don't know why, but my head's in the game. I'm just totally different, because they're having some psychological change there of how they see things, how they think about things. And you're going to learn to stop, challenge, choose by integrating into this system. And that's going to be something that's really important so that you can get off that yo-yo pattern, that oscillating pattern back and forth, and have lasting change. Is stopping what you're doing sometimes, challenging yourself then to say, what do I really want most? And then making a choice that supports it. So Habits of Health is lasting success. And Lynn, I'm sure that you totally agree with that.
Totally.
Yeah, and you guys, I feel like it's what's missing for other people. So don't miss the chance to integrate into that Habits of Health. So are you integrated there? You're going to get the podcast app. You're going to start reading it, doing 1 page a day in your workbook. It's the little micro habits that are going to move you forward. And then the third component that we saw earlier was your community. So how connected are you with community? And Lynn, I know you're a big community person. So would you just visit about that for a minute?
Community is so important, Charlene, because it's surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And these are people, whether it's on social media or things like this, the Habits of Health weekly calls or the doctor's calls, this is the part of the community that really will benefit everybody and to help you integrate into the system. So being engaged, being in tuned, really being there to assist other people, encourage other people, inspire other people, being part of a community that really, again, is moving towards the same direction as we all are. And I think that that's so important part of the 4 components.
Well said, Lynn, because you guys, you don't want to just be in there like just observing. You've got to get in and get to play and be a part of the crew, make friends. And whether that's live events where you live, or like Lynn mentioned, the online community, like we have Facebook communities, everybody has different little ways that they're connecting. Get integrated into that. I was visiting with a client here that wants to really get healthy for hunting season. We live in Oregon, so everybody's going to be going hunting, or a lot of people are. And he was like, yeah, I got to get for my hunting party. And I was thinking, that's a community, the hunting party. And it's important because as they're on their hunting trips, they're going to notice if somebody falls behind. Where's Tommy? What happened to Tommy? And you want to be in a part of a group where people will notice if you're not there. So make yourself known. Comment, inspire others. Be inspired by others. Give and receive is what I'm saying, and be connected. And this is really important. And I want to encourage you also to build your own community of health with the people that are in your circle. So your family, your friends, invite them to come on the journey with you. That's going to look different depending on who you're talking to. I will tell you though, it's going to create a lot of lasting success for you. And I want to show you a couple pictures of people that I invited into my community to come with me. And it was pretty exciting because they were very dear to me and it made a huge difference in their life. So let me show you a picture first of my mom, Jeannie. And you can see here on the left, she'd had a stroke and it was very challenging for her to navigate and have the mobility. And she went on program with me. And I just said, Mom, I want you to get healthy with me because I have that relationship with her. And we explored it together with my health coach and she got started. And Mom had such a transformation. She lost a lot of weight and just really got all of her groove back. And you can see in her after picture, she looks a lot different and she's just had a blast being healthy. And this spread on to my sister and my nieces and a lot of family members, friends, my neighbor. So now our family gatherings look really different with what we bring, what we serve, what we eat, because we're on the journey of health. There's more of us doing that. And the ones that aren't, well, they still bring their stuff too, but now it's like, I'm not alone being healthy. So it's very exciting. And I think one of my most answered prayers, my heart's desire was to be able to help my teenage daughter create health in her life. And so when I started my journey, I was praying that would happen. And sure enough, she asked me, Mom, what are you doing? And she started her own journey. And that's my beautiful Monique right here. And she went from in 8th grade on the left to 9th grade on the right. And you can see an amazing transformation for her in her own, not just her body, but in her smile, in her vibrancy, and her confidence. And so we created the healthy community together. And I just encourage you to connect with your health coach and see what that might look like for you. With helping people around you discover health, because now you're going to be getting healthier in that community part there. And the last component, you guys, is going to be our fuelings. And I want to just encourage you to have the right fueling plan for what you want. So again, go back to your health coach. There's been different seasons for me. I've gone back on my program at different points after maybe a big long trip where I'm like, wow, things got a little bit out of control and my pants are getting tight, or whatever that might look like. Have a fuel plan and make sure that you're set up for success. Are you on 5 and 1? Do you have enough fuelings? By the way, have you tried the new Optavia Essentials? Lynn, what do you think of these?
Oh, they're delicious, Charlene. My favorite's the brownie, of course.
We didn't know they could make the brownie better, but they did. And all of the things in here are just wonderful. Plus, they just have a clean label like it says here. And they contain the probiotics in every single meal. How exciting to be able to get that slow release all day long. And some additional vitamin D in it, and a lot of other great things too, just to be really that clean label for us. And I love the taste. The taste of all of these is wonderful. So it's very exciting, guys, to have so many tools. If you're, an optimal health, more of a 3 and 3 type of a plan, are you making all 6 meals yourself? I know for me, I wanted to be able to have the convenience of still using some of these. And not having to create all that, because I have a lot of things to do in my life to become the best version of myself, and making 6 meals isn't part of that for me. So make sure you've got a customized plan for you that works, individualized for where you want to be, at this point in your journey. So we've covered the 4 components. How much are you using the health coach, the habits of health system, your communities that you can create and be a part of, and then also the fuel plan that's right for you. And the more integrated you are, the more lasting success that you're going to have. So as you're moving along, a few other things that will be important to do is to create structure. Create structure so you're not just flying by the seat of your pants without knowing really where you want to be. And so this is something I love. The first time I saw this, I was like, wow, this is brilliant. And it's in your Habits of Health book, by the way. It's also in your workbook. There's several exercises where you can create this yourself. And your health coach can help you also with, they love to know what your goal is. So your goal is really also called your desired outcome. So that's really at the top of where you want to be. And then starting with a real current taste, a clarity of what is your current reality. And when you know that, then you can begin to move forward with steps that are going to help you get there. So for instance, on page 31 of your Habits of Health book right here, you can look and see that great structural tension chart. It's right there. Current reality was the person wanted to get to a healthier BMI. Their goal was to lose 50 pounds. That's what would do that. And some of the steps they were going to take along the way was get on the 5 and 1, stay connected to their coach. And then you keep on assessing how you're doing as you're moving along. And that's pretty exciting to see the progress. And Lynn, I know that you and I have been visiting about some people get hung up and they really yo-yo because they don't have a clarity of what their desired outcome is, where they're at now, that's real, their current reality, and then those steps to get there. That can trip them up, or they're not integrating, so they're just dieting. They're just using one part of our fuel plan, or the fuel plan, I mean, is one part, or they're looking for perfection. And would you visit about that for a minute?
Yeah, what I've learned, Charlene, is, reaching for perfection is very hard. It's very tiring. And so I love what Dr. Anderson said, and you mentioned it earlier, that, be the best version of yourself. And I love that because it really lessens the pressure on moving towards perfection. What we really want is to move towards optimal health. And being optimally healthy is just really the way to go. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, Lynn. And also, you guys, that we need to know that if we're going to have, we need to know we're going to have some slip ups. We're going to have some failures. I don't have any clients, and we have helped a lot of people in the last 2.5 years, thousands. I don't have any clients that have gone through their program perfectly and never ever had anything after that happen that caused them to have a change in weight or a change in energy. That's not realistic. And not only is perfection challenging if you're going for it, it's elusive because it's really not going to happen. So we want to embrace progress. And we want to let our failures be our guide for the future. So if you are having some failures, okay, good to know. Write down what you're learning about that. And this is when you reach back to your health coach and say, this happened, and this is what I realized was my downfall was I didn't plan here, or I didn't do that. And again, in the Habits of Health workbook, chapter 3 is fantastic for this. It's really about realizing the triggers, the patterns. Where did it start? Well, it started when I did this, and then this was a chain reaction of all that stuff. And so this is how you have that lasting change, is you stop looking for perfection and you embrace progress. And one thing I don't know that we've talked about yet today is celebrating your success, celebrating your progress, celebrating your non-scale victories, because non-scale victories are what are going to lead to lasting success in staying where you want to on the scale, which is really that healthy place. And Lynn mentioned it. It's the optimal well-being that we're after. And that's a journey. So always connect back in and celebrate progress. That's what I'm thinking about that. And I just encourage you guys to really stop, challenge, and choose on a regular basis with not just what you're putting into your mouth, but what you're thinking about. It's important that you're aware about that physical health, but also that mental well-being that we want to create as well. And so you guys, there's one more thing I want to touch on today, and that is the habits that you're learning on your program are going to be lifelong for you for lasting success. And that's the Be Slim lifestyle. And so let's just identify what this is. And if you're watching this, take out your phone, snap a picture of this. This was so exciting to me to learn because I felt like it was like a formula, like algebra in school, A plus B equals C. Well, following a Be Slim lifestyle equals lasting success. And it's something you can gauge yourself like a check and balance, see how are you doing. So the first one is breakfast. Are you having breakfast every day? Lynn, were you doing that before you started your program 2 years ago?
No, Charlene, no, I was not. And that was really a really new habit that I had to form for myself, because my first meal of the day was usually after 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And by having breakfast, it really sets you up for success throughout your day. It helps to really get your metabolism going. So great breakfast is the start of the day, and it'll set you off great.
So guys, that's something you want to keep doing past your program. And again, to set yourself up to succeed with your fuel plan. I still do a shake every morning because I can get up and within 30 minutes of waking up, have that shake. I don't have to go down and create it. It's not this big hard thing to do. So make sure that you are having the habit around you to support that lasting breakfast pattern. The next one is exercise. And when you're on your program for weight loss, if that's where you're starting, getting to a healthy weight, exercise is going to be a big part of that program. Movement is healthy movement, but exercise is something that you'll bring in as you're getting to that healthy BMI at a higher level. You'll bring that in. And I was not a person that loved exercise for sure before. It just didn't make me happy. Hiking did, dancing did, and then I realized, oh, I can incorporate some of those things and make them exercise. So I did do more of that. I also joined a gym where they have some great classes so I can integrate into that lifestyle. But my biggest tip for me, well, for you maybe, but my biggest secret that I found for success is doing something where I can feel like the time just flew by. And so I love to go down to the gym in the morning. Lee goes down, he gets a big workout in, my husband does, doing all these weights and all these things. And I do a little bit of that, but I like to just sit on the recumbent bike for 30 minutes and pedal, put it on the program. And then I sit with my phone and I answer my messages and I plan some of my day, maybe catch up on Facebook for a minute, and 30 minutes just flies by. So find ways to incorporate exercise into your life that actually is something that you can do a little bit every day. Lynn, what about support?
Support, again, as we mentioned earlier, Charlene, is your health coach, the support system. They're there for you. They're there to guide you every step of the way and to help you reach your goal. They've got the tools and the knowledge to be able to assist you to reach your goal faster. So reach out. It's so important.
Absolutely, guys. And even being on here, this is support. You're plugging into another support tool. So make sure you stay connected to those 4 components, the first 3 especially for your support. And then make sure with the low-fat meals that you have a plan. So you have the structure to support the new behavior that you want to continue to practice in your life. And so low-fat meals, 6 a day. We want to see those happening. I don't want to make 6 myself, so I use 3 of ours, as I mentioned earlier. And then the other ones, we have a great plan for that. We keep lean proteins ready in the fridge all the time. You'll find like a lean beef, lean chicken in my fridge right now in big glass containers. I have a cooking time, 2 hours every 3 days where I do prep. I pretend that I am prepping for a restaurant. The restaurant is my kitchen. And I go in there and I cook those meats and I make sure that all the vegetables, I go to the grocery store and get them and I chop them all up so they're in containers. So when we're going to make a lot of our meals, we're just really putting them together. I get to be more artistic and make it look more gorgeous. But a lot of that prep is often already done. Or I put fish out in the morning to thaw if I want to have something fresh. So do you have a good plan for your low-fat meals? And again, connect back with your health coach and make that for yourself if you need that. And have an individual plan for you for where you are in your journey. So like if you're preparing for some kind of a marathon or some event that's going to require training, you may need to have some extra fuel because your energy expenditure may be higher than what you've been having in the past with your previous plan. And you want to make sure that you have that customized for you, and your health coach can help you with that too. So make sure that your plan is for the point that you're in, or maybe you need to go back on plan because you got derailed with some of the life things that happened. No problem. That's what the journey's about, is picking up where you are and moving forward. And last but not least, Lynn, what about monitoring?
Yeah, so monitoring your weight weekly will really help to keep you focused and to help you to maintain your goal weight. And so, when you start to feel like your clothes or your jeans are getting a little tight, this is to help you to monitor so that way you can continue your optimal health journey. So weighing yourself weekly and really just gauging how your clothes are fitting you would be a great way to monitor your healthy weight.
So that would mean you would need to buy some things that actually have waistbands. And I love when I heard Dr. Anderson early in my program, I think I was like on week 5, say, you want to make sure when you're done, it was in something I was reading, that you don't have a lot of clothes with elastic waistbands. Because, we don't really have elastic waistband means no current reality. So you don't know what's going on. So make sure you have some clothes that actually are made to fit. And then oh, wow, things kind of changed. Or, it's funny about the scale is a lot of people, they don't like the scale. The scale for me is just a current reality. That's all that I can change anytime, definitely. And because I integrated into our 4 components, I have the tools to do that. I remember at 6 weeks on my journey, I had a massive clothing sale. It was unbelievable because I had like 6 sizes in my closet. And for the first time in my life, it had only been 6 weeks in, I was digesting the habits of health. I was connected to my health coach. I was in our community. I was totally rocking the field plan. I knew I was never going to go back to that yo-yo way of living. I was never going to be going through a size 12, 14, 16, 18. Oh, that's the end of my clothesline. I have to do something about it. That was never happening again. So I had this massive clothing sale. It was unreal, piles of clothing, which was also telling that it's expensive when you're yo-yoing. And so I remember thinking, wow, I have permanently changed. And I went out and I did buy a new wardrobe. And it was really funny, you guys, that first year of being healthy, I need some new spring clothes. I need some new fall clothes. It was a really fun time to kind of reinvent myself of what's my style now that I'm really getting to pick what I really want right now and not just working with all the old stuff. So it's wonderful to be healthy. And it's wonderful to be off of that yo-yo pattern and instead have that structural tension, have our 4 components, and practice the B-Slim lifestyle. So guys, I just am so glad you're here today. With the community, this is part of our community too, is you're live and you're getting some support. But I remember hearing at the end of a movie, an African proverb was spoken and they put it up on the screen. And I never have forgotten what it said because it was so relevant to the journey of life. And it said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I love that so much. And I know that by being together here in our other communities, I know for me being a coach, I know with my family doing this with me together, my friends, we are going to go far in the journey of health and help a lot of people create that too. So health feels great. Yo-yoing doesn't. So hopefully today you have some great new clarity and tools to be able to stop that pattern yourself and create lasting health. Lynn, do you want to add anything before we go?
Charlene, I was just thinking as you were talking, yo-yo is fun when you're a kid, but not when you're an adult. So let's leave that in the playground.
Lynn, I love it. Let's leave on that note. Thanks for being with us, you guys. Congratulations for investing in yourself today. And we'll tune you in next week for another great topic on habits of health. See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
The preceding audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some Take Shape for Life health coaches or clients. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to healthy living and weight loss will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a physician before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the Take Shape for Life team.